meet so many women who want a good man, but do not wish to have their heart broken or disappointed again. They have a habit for picking the same man that continue to undervalue her until they do not wish to look anymore. Their vision of an ideal man is one they discuss on the phone with their girlfriends. They are unwilling to try again, but they yearn to find a man that will add to their lives and consider their needs. Arlene is 26 and looking for a meaningful relationship. She writes a blog and co-hosts a podcast. Shelby is 52. She found her Prince Charming years ago and remains married to him. Wilna Marie is divorced and ditched before I do. She's 36 and has been a writer for over a decade, a published author since the age of 17. JB is 30 and married for five years. She was looking for Mr. Right for years and almost gave up faith after witnessing bad divorce her friend and family were involved in. Together they have a book, and I thought divorce was bad. Hello, everybody. Hello, Shell, Wilna, and Jane. How are you?
Great. It's good to be here.
I love having you all here. So let's talk about this. Nasty divorce. You're beginning to date again. How do we get through that?
Well, I think the first part, the most important thing, is to do an analysis of what happened. And when we do an analysis, you should really think of it in a term of almost break it down to technical terms of algebra almost. Because you start with a large problem, and that's what happened. There was a large problem somewhere in this relationship. And then you kind of break the problem down into X's and Y's step by step by step by step in order to get the correct answer. And I think that's what we have to do with the relationship. Because if you just look at the whole relationship, it's a whole lot of things to think about. But when you start with an analysis, you can pick out little things that went wrong, little things that went right. And then you can start working on those little things before you even think about going into another relationship.
And this is Will speaking to me?
This is Winona.
Winona. Of course, yes. And you have been divorced, correct?
Yes, I have. And dumped right before I do. I think it was 3 months before we supposed to walk down the aisle.
So tell us a little bit about your story.
I was married for 6 years. It was an emotionally abusive relationship, and then we broke up one day. And he walked out the door and he was like, "You're fat," and that was it. So, and then I met this another guy that I actually fell in love with about 7 years ago, and he literally showed up the day my husband left. He's ex-husband now, but at the time he was hubby. He literally showed up like maybe 45 minutes later was the first time he came back into my life. And we talked for a while, a long while. And then he popped the question, and we were getting the rings and everything. And then his friend called me up one day and says he got married, and it's not to you. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not engaged anymore. So that was interesting. But
so that was a journey. So you had all this stuff going on, and you had to break it down and figure out,
yes,
what to do about it.
First and foremost was like when I was thinking about possibly doing the whole dating thing again, because after I got hurt twice, I was like, this isn't fun. The first thing I needed to do was think about what was wrong with the relationship, with the process of picking a man, and then what was wrong with me. Because you can normally start with what's wrong with me, but no, first we need to start with thinking and process, and then what's wrong with me.
Because it's not always just our fault, right?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of things that are his fault, and that's so much easier to see. A lot of times you're like, oh, well, he didn't appreciate me enough. He didn't love me enough. He didn't support me enough. But a lot of times you're going to be like, well, why didn't he support me enough? Did I contribute to that, or was it just really him? And that's where the algebra part comes down. Take the X and the Y, separate them, give them their own equation. And then you're like, okay, well, this is what was his wrong. This is what was my wrong. And this is how they supported each other to get to this terrible answer. So we need to change the variable to make a different equation, to get a different answer.
I love your analogy. It's very good. And Shelby, you are you're 52 and you've been married quite a while.
Yes, since 1987.
Oh wow! So tell us about that.
Well, actually, I've been with my husband since 1982. We were together for 5 years before we got married, And I didn't expect to get in a relationship that early. And I'm still kind of surprised I'm still in a relationship this long. But I tell people being in a relationship is like a roller coaster ride. You have your ups and downs, and you just hold on. It'll come back around to something good again. You just got to keep holding on and take each ride as it comes. But what I tell people today, I guess young women today, is sometimes it's not so much what's wrong with us, is that we really have to find ourselves before we lose ourselves in a man. So my husband and I, we met really young. I was 19 and he was 21, and we said we still would pick each other, but we would have took more time to do some things on our own because you kind of just grew up together. And so we both in our 50s and we're still growing, and it's still working somehow, but it took some time to get here.
But isn't that an amazing message? Do you think, like, young people today just give up too easily?
Yes. Mine feels like a roller coaster ride. I mean, a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you're crying, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're ready to get off the ride and don't want to get back on the ride. But but if you really think the relationship is worth it, you hang on and you just keep on riding. And there are some relationships where you have to get off the ride and just keep going and just say, that's it, I'm done with this thing. But if it's worth it, then you hang in there and just keep taking the ride.
So what you're saying is, if he's a good person, you're just gonna, love it's a journey.
Yes, it's a journey. Yeah, if you got a good one, you want to hang in there. And I guess the thing is knowing if you have a good one, and also you have to be a good one too. So it's a combination.
Yeah, I remember reading a book one time. Can't think of the name of it right now. I think it was Everlasting Love, and it was interviewing retired people that were together for a very long time, and some of the stories of what they had been through and they were still together really opened my eyes as a single woman, that love is not just this chemistry filled high.
No.
And once I let go of that, I started to have better relationships.
That it comes with the ups and the downs. I'm the divorced one, so I really shouldn't even speak on this. Well, Nona, by the way, but it does come with ups and downs. And if you can get through those downs.
I'm speaking to who now?
Oh, this is Winona.
Winona, yeah. So what were you saying, Winona?
I was saying it comes with what she said. It comes with ups and downs, but if you can get through those downs and you actually have a decent man, then it makes you a better person, it makes him a better person, and it makes for better love. When you get the relationship right. That's the important part. Get it right.
And well, isn't a lot of it picking a good partner in the beginning?
Yes. It's a huge part of picking a good partner, but I really shouldn't be talking on it because I'm the divorced one.
No, you have experience. For me, I'm not so much just getting it right. It's just trying to take it. I'm sorry, Shelby. Taking it one day at a time and making it work. And if you really love someone, it's just the love is always going to be there. And there's times when you can see that person and you're like whatever, but but down deep, that person still makes you smile, and you still are willing to work through it another day and just keep hanging in and hanging there. And then sometimes you're like, okay, is this enough? I'm ready to go. But then for some reason, you just keep hanging in there because there's that love, and you have to have that love and that trust and that bond, what helps you keep growing and keep hanging in there.
I love it. I love your message. And Jay, you're 30 and married 5 years. So what's your take on all this?
Well, seeing as I knew Shelby, she told me that before I got married. She told me. She said, okay, marriage is a roller coaster ride. You're going to have really good days and really horrible ones. And I appreciated that, and I look back, and many days I've thought about it, and I said, she's so right. She's so right. I'm so glad she told me that. Because if she hadn't told me, I'd be like, what's going on? I don't understand what's wrong. But because I knew that it has ups and downs, it's okay. okay. If he's worth hanging in there for, and I think at the beginning when she was talking about when you have to know yourself, that's really important to get into a good relationship. It's important to know what you're looking for, what personality types do not match with your personality type. It's important to know that.
Well, as far as me, I just kind of blindly went into there because I was into that fairy tale, the Brady Bunch kind of love story kind of thing, and that's love is not that.
No, it's not.
I learned I had to grow in a relationship. That's very important. You have to grow as a couple because you don't grow as a couple or grow as people individually, you're going to lose something along the way. So, and the thing is, if the person is worth it and you're worth it, it's worth the ride.
Also, this is Winona. I wanted to say that on that there also comes the forgiveness thing in there as well. Because I think both of these married ladies can say that a lot of forgiveness for themselves, what they may have said or what he may have said, comes into practice, especially at those low moments.
Yeah, because what we don't forgive, we hold on to.